Hello eBayers, Dean here from RC Gadgets and Toys. Usually a video would come up with the eBay experiment. Now because I've been on eBay selling and I've been buying stuff, you go down a rabbit hole. You can see here, you probably know kind of where this is going. But RC Gadgets and Toys, this is the toy element. Now, what are your thoughts on Scalextrics? Now, it's not going to be a history lesson, because I haven't really looked into the history of Scalextrics. I don't. Is it in the early 60s or the 50s? Because although this picture you see here, it's Scalextrics. Prior to Scalextrics, as you probably know it today, or as you was a child between the 70s, 80s, etc. It was Triang, wasn't it? So, and I actually think that the Triang era of slot car racing is more valuable in both senses of the word. It's super expensive to get certain models and things and bits, and it is quite hard to get hold of these rare items. I will say that it's surprising when you look into it of just how much you can buy. Now, where are we going with this? What's the point of this video? Well, grab a cup of tea, get yourself comfortable, and I'll get into it. If, like me, you grew up in the 70s, I say grew up, was born in the 70s, and then sort of grew up throughout the 70s and 80s, one of my passions was Scalextrics. Now, it wasn't a Scalextrics of Triang, that was before my time. I must admit, I wasn't actually, when I was younger, I wasn't aware that Triang existed even, didn't even know it was a thing. But my parents got me a Scalextrics track, blah blah blah, and I was fascinatedly addicted to it. No matter what I did, it revolved around the Scalextrics. I didn't necessarily hate trains, because most kids would have had a train set. But I was always into the four-wheel racing umbrella. So it was just a foregone conclusion that I'd end up with a Scalextric set. Now, the one I had was called Scalextrics 200. Let me just stick a picture up in front of you. And this was what I got. This was just a simple figure of 8, a couple of shadows, F1 cars of the 70s, and I had this for ages. Now, I'm not going to go through every single set I've had. That's not the point of the video. But that's where I started. Now, of all the searching on eBay that I've done over the last probably 2 months, I suddenly got this bug. Now, I don't mean an illness. I suppose it could be an illness. But I just had to revisit my childhood. So, what I need to do, I'm going to come away from here. I'm going to show you a different area, because I've got some bits there that I want to show you. And then I want to put some things past you to see whether you've got some interest in this. Now, it is part of the brand of RC Gadgets and Toys, and you'll see why in a second. So let me just get myself arranged. So you're going to have to put up with a little bit of handheldness, which I know people don't particularly like, but you can see here we've got an original Scalextrics brochure from back in the day. Now this one, I'll show you on there, that's the 11th edition, which basically this one was from 1970. So it's not a case of going to show you every single page, but it's in amazing order, like amazing. Now, I have found a website that shows you all the catalogues on PDF format and you can scout through them, but there's nothing quite like having the original. This was, I wouldn't have known about this. I would say it was before I was born. It was kind of the year I was born, but I wouldn't have been aware of this by any stretch. Now, where this is going is I've got this idea of purchasing every car in this catalogue. Now, this could go one of two ways. Well, I don't do it, or I do it, and it becomes another obsession. But it does link onto RC gadgets and toys. Let me just show you a couple of other items. So I don't know about you, but I know this isn't the most authentic F1 car that's ever been produced ever. However, cars of back, Scalextric cars in particular, from back in the 70s, and I'm probably thinking maybe early 80s, possibly. There's a few outliers there, but from the 70s through to sort of early 80s, Scalextric had some really unique cars. This is one of them. And what my plan, I mean, although this one's in particularly good condition. I'll show you something else here in a minute, but I was thinking of like going through the restoration process and using them and showing you them in use. I've got an idea of what I can do, but I've got this one here, and I'll quickly show you the other one, which they don't come as pairs, but when you've got the track or the set, you've clearly got two cars. So we've got that one, and then we've got that one. So you can see that they're really old, and if I zoom in a little bit there, the tyres, they are original, and they are old. You see the chrome's a little bit worn. There's not a lot I can do about that. Like these particular ones, like the green one and the red one, are pretty, in quite good condition, to be honest. If I just turn this over, it's a typical Scalextric car. Quite small, actually. So this would have been something that you would have played with in the 70s with your track. Now, this came as a very basic setup. Now, I'm going to quickly show you another three. So these are another entirely different sort of era. However, the two you can see back here, this red one and this green one, are very similar. Let's just have a little close up. So these ones have got like the chrome at the back, and they're very similar indeed, but they've got the wing on. So they came as a like an alternative. I think they are pretty close. I don't think they're based on anything in real life, but they sort of loosely resemble various cars of the era. I don't think they had the licensing to sort of call them anything in particular. I think these ones are like arrows, but I don't think it's like the Formula One arrows. And those ones are like Scatali or something. They're made up. But the idea would be is to restore some of these. Now you can see on these two here, this red one in particular, I knew it had that, but the exhaust pipes at the back have broken. But you can buy this bit. And if I'll show you, well, you can see the green one here. Look, so these, that's quite fragile. Considering that kids would have been playing with these, it's quite often these would break off. So to get them being broken is quite rare. Actually, to get them with the wings like intact and available is super rare. Again, they've got the original tyres on there. I mean, don't know if I can zoom in too much on here. I'm not sure if it's going to work. But these sort of period correct tyres, of which, let me just show you something else I bought. I have got some partly new tyres here. They're not all for that, but they are, I've got some slick tyres in here, but I've got some treaded ones as well. That's for these. So, and the final one here, I've got some more cars coming, but we've got this one as well. I forget the name of this. Is it a Europa V or something? And it was one of those unique Scalextric cars, a sled chassis. Basically, there's a chassis underneath there that sort of slots in. These were supposed to be quite fast. This one, again, is in very, very good condition. So it's slightly different era on it. I think also they do come with or without wings. This one was without the wings because there's no sort of marks or fixing points where the wing could go. But they do these ones with the real wing on, or for the era of car. Now my plan would be to do like a little archive of historic Scalextrics. Let's just put these all together. This is only a small collection of what you can get. And I've got two others, one other coming, but I've got loads in my sort of eBay basket to view. And they do vary in price from these are relatively standard, sort of between 15 and 25 pound, up to probably the most rare ones within this edition here could be in excess of 200 and 300 pound, which is insane. But upon buying lots of Scalextrics, I get a lot of cars which I don't want. And my plan would be to restore some of those, make sure they work, and sell them on the store, RC Gadgets and Toys. What's your thoughts on this? I mean, are you into Scalextrics? Have you got any of these type of cars? These are from the 70s. These are actually from the 11th edition catalogue. Maybe I'll quickly show you on the screen because handheld is a bit rubbish, isn't it? But yeah, I mean these are in pretty good condition. Some of them, this one might be clean, and I've got to get I'd like to get like this engine cover in chrome with the exhaust on there. It's pretty super rare that these are ones on there anyway. Considering how kids would have played with the cars today, I don't even think they need the tyres replaced on there. So I think these are particularly good, considering, I mean, they may well be reproductions rather than originals, but I quite like these. And it doesn't end there, so I'm going to quickly show you something else. So I apologise for this handheld malarkey, but down there we've got, do you remember those electronic boxes that did like pit stops and sound, and I think there was timing and stuff like that? Well, that's what they are. Now, I don't know if they work. I've got it in good faith that they do. There's a car there, that's a BMW, which that will be on the store. I'm going to sell that. I kind of repaired the box. The car's in really good condition. Further down there, we've got like the pit stop like building there, and in that bit there, that is the pit stop itself. So you can see, based on that, there's only a few things I've got there. I've got two other things coming, sets. They will be for sale, but we'll do a little video on them when I get them. But the plan would be, to restore some of these cars on the I don't know what channel to do it on. What do you reckon? Would it I don't think the eBay experiment would be very particularly great. This is going out on the RC channel, although this isn't RC, but they are kind of controlled independently, aren't they? I don't know what that would come under. Electric model motor racing isn't RC, but it crosses over. So these ones I'm potentially, I'm going to keep these because I want to build up a collection that sort of mimic that 70s catalogue. Now this is all from the same era. The car there, I won't show you the car in this video, but let me know what you think, because we can do some restoration videos in the shed and it'll be a little bit more clearer, getting them cleaned up. I mean, to be fair, these ones ain't too bad. Maybe that one there, that Europa V might want cleaning, because it is a little bit older sort of looking, where the others are not too bad. And maybe we'll get this chrome, no, this one, isn't it? So maybe get the chrome engine and fit that on and tidy it up. And then we need to set a small test track up somewhere. That's going to be the next challenge, with a couple of like close-up videos of the cars working, especially the ones like that one there. And I've got some other cars coming which I will be selling, and I'll show you those in another video. Depends if you like what you see here, how many of you are interested in this sort of era of Scalextrics. But anyway, I'll call that for there, and just let me know what you think. It's not going to take over anything, but it's linked between radio controlled cars in that channel and the eBay experiment on my other channel, because some of this stuff will be going on eBay. Maybe I'll do a short video on how to lose money, because I'm pretty good at that. Because buying this stuff isn't exactly like super cheap, and it can range so much from cheap to like overly expensive depending on the condition. Scalextric did make like very similar cars, but if it doesn't come out in the right era, it won't be worth the money. So I don't know. See, let me think. I mean, it won't be like, you know, ongoing forever and messing around with toy cars and that. And I'm trying to keep it so it's relative to perhaps other people that might watch this channel. But let me know your thoughts. Let me know, get some feedback. You know, even if you've got some of these, you know, what do you think? It's just basically me reliving my childhood and sharing that with you. I mean, you know, I never owned those sort of think tank things there, with the fuel and the timing, because I could never afford that when I was that age. I think they were like nearly £30, but that's like probably in the mid 70s. Based on that, the weekly wage is probably not £30. So I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. My figures might be wrong there. But let me know what you think. I'll catch up with you guys very soon in the next episode. Hopefully we'll get some of these cars, get some more in, get some track up, and we'll see if we can get these things like whizzing around a little bit in a very, what's it called? Is it a diorama? That sort of detailed look, a backdrop. Maybe we'll get it doing like that and get some close-up shots, just to sort of show off the detailing of these cars. Anyway, that's the plan. Give me your thoughts. Thank you for watching. I appreciate that. And I'll see you in another video on either one of my channels, the RC channel, Racing 393, or the eBay experiment. So a bit of a plug for both. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.